Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, Purushottama Yogam, Shloka number 10. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Utkramantam Stitam Vapi Bhunjanam Vagunanvitam Vimudhananupashyanti Pashyanti Gnana-chakshushaha. Bhagavan Shri Krishna in this chapter, after explained about the nature of this samsara vriksha, which is unknown where from the roots are started, for this we see only the branches. But once if you cut this tree of the samsara, that means all the relative experiential world, it is not real at all. So cutting this samsara vriksha means what? Keeping yourself detached, keeping yourself indifferent. So Bhagavan given the solution also. This is the only way if you want to escape from the suffering and sorrow from the samsara, of this samsara. Then after telling all that, who can do this? Anybody can do? No. So Bhagavan given the 5 important practices or the qualities. One is who are free from the ego, ahankara. We are all having, every one of us are having a car. For every one of us, our car is so beautiful and so costly and so valuable. What is that? And we are sitting in that car. That is ahankar. Everybody is having this car of ahamkar. And everybody feels that his own ahankara, its status, its color, its nature, everything we like it. So all are sitting in the car of ahankara. So who is free from this ahankara and who is free from the delusion also, other projections of the mind, and who is free from the attachment of the any kind of bad company, and free from the desires. That means who is having a controlled, required, legitimate few desires. That's it. And not forgetting this and leading the whole life every day. For this person, Adhyatma Nitya means spirituality is not a part-time profession. But for him, spirituality is a 24/7 preoccupation. And because of all these qualities in him, he is able to tolerate all the pairs of opposites. He also undergoes, as everybody undergoes, the body changes, the mind changes, the world changing, everything he also undergoes, because he also living in the upadhi only. But he is not sitting in the ahankara car. But he is very much functioning, moving in this world, living with the same upadhi only. So body is also, we can call it as another ayatanam or car. Most of us, ahankara comes because of looking about this body and pampering this body, considering ourselves as this body only, that ahankara. At least body, I can see my body, I can show my body, I can see your body, but I cannot see your ahankara car as I see the body car. Or we can say ahankara is the engine of the car, and this body is just like the body of the car. But more attraction we'll have on the color, size and cost and all this. So body identification. So this wise person doesn't have that ahankara or the core of the aham or the core of the body feeling. He knows very well who is he. Therefore, he also faces the sukha dukkha's and the pairs of complementaries, but he maintains his balance. Samatvam yoga uchyate. And such a person, this kind of undeluded, wise people, they will attain that paramam padam, avyayam padam, like this. And the glory of that Parampadam also explained in the 6th shloka. Then afterwards, now what exactly happening here? What is this aham car and body car? What is all this? Where from all these are appearing? Then 7th shloka onwards, Bhagavan started explaining about the Jiva. My amsha alone, I am alone. Please listen attentively this point. One reality, supreme substratum, uttama purusham, expressing as Ishvara in samashti level and Jiva in vesti level. But remember, one reality, same Atma, Parabrahma, expressing through samashti in the name of Ishvara. Therefore, Brahma reality and the Ishvara and Jiva all are three nothing but one and the same. But when the expression started, what happened? No problem. Multiplicity has seen, because I did sankalpa, I desired. So kamayata bahushyam praja eti. I want to become many. So then I started looking myself, my vibhuti in many fold. It is only a play. nothing is apart from me, and so total samashti started expressing. This expression is called perception. When it Ishvara also have the perception, once after this entire samashti namarupa prapancha of this projection has taken place, Ishvara having perception of his own expression. Then the same thing when it comes to the again a individual expression is called Jiva. But same Paramatma, same Ishvara expressing here. Naturally, these three only are there. When we say Samashti, Jagat is included in that. And so this is one unit through which the expression of the Paramatma is taking place. That's all. This is only happening. Now here, where is the question of Ahankara? Is this Jiva is real? In real sense, it is not at all real. It is only Ishvara. Ishvara also is not Samashti. In his own sense is not real. Only one substratum, one reality Brahman is expressing. You have to think very coolly. Go to the point. Therefore, here, what I said, a perception. Now, okay, from this counter, this body, there are 5 again sub counters. All these 5 counters are perceiving. Don't say, I am perceiving the world. That is your wrong notion previously. Now, I am perceiving the Ishvara. So, indirectly, when I am saying I am perceiving the Ishvara, I am perceiving the Brahman. But this perceiver is not separate actually. I am the Brahman perceiving entire my vibhuti, my expression through many counters. Same reality. Now, if it is only a perception and perceiving, there is no problem at all. But now the problem starts where? We'll come to that point because Bhagavan is going to say no after 1 or 2 shlokas. Already said last class, 10th shloka, up to that we saw. Just I am reminding recapping the thing. So, through all these 5 sense organs, including the mind, I am only expressing through that. They are all my amsha. And after expressing through this body, sometime later, when this equipment, this body is not suitable to express, by the time what happened here, I forgot my essential real nature due to ignorance. I consider myself as a limited jiva, binded, and in this way when I thought thinking I as separate, and then few things and the possessions are all mine, they were all belong to me. In this way, I myself created a cocoon, nobody else, because of my wrong notion. How I created, why I have created, what is the wrong notion? After seeing, after having the perception. Now, once if I see this cell phone, yes, I saw the cell phone. That's it, perception. Now, this cell phone is mine. This cell phone is very good. Nobody is not having such a costly cell phone. and after that I see some other cell phone in somebody's hand, the new model, or in advertisement, then my mind runs, that is very good for me, I want that, I don't want this. Like this is beautiful, this is ugly. All this further expansion is called projection. We have already touched these points previously, but now slowly again we are consolidating. Bhagavan is giving a gist of this entire knowledge in this chapter, in this particular another 5, 10 shlokas with a different angle. So, in perception there is no problem, but in projection, this projection is started and done by exclusively this ahankara, I, the mind. The mind. And that becomes a now big tragedy and problem. Otherwise, life is a sport, play, life is a comedy, life is a sport. It is just as you perceive as it is. Don't label anything further later. Then you are in with reality. You are recognized, you are the real source of everything. But unfortunately, this projection started. In the last class, in one shloka, Shankara says, oh, what a tragedy, Bhagavan feeling so bad. Like that, one place we saw, no? Yes. Bhagavan anukroshati cha. Wow, what a difficult situation came. To whom? To Bhagavan only, because Bhagavan only become Ishvara, Bhagavan only become the Jiva. Become means as though expressing. Anyhow, now, so this is the thing happening, the projection. Now here when Bhagavan started telling about all the 5 sense organs and Vishayan, I am enjoying and expressing through all this mind and everything, that is perception. After that, in 10th shloka, where we have concluded last class, उत्क्रामन्तं स्थितं वापि भुञ्जानं वा गुणान्वितं विमूढानानुपश्यन्ति पश्यन्ति ज्ञानचक्षुषः. Now, whether this expression of reality, my amsha, it may be there in the body, with this particular body, or it may left this body and going to take another body, and when it is there in this body, the expression, it perceives everything. So what is happening here? Nothing happened. Nothing happened to Brahman, nothing happened to Ishvara. Then why something has to happen to Jiva? Because this Jiva now become a utterly foolish person. Super fool. This Vimudha na anupashyanti is not understanding or recognizing this fact. Who is he really? He is thinking himself as a egoistic ahankari, a limited jiva suffering because of the karmas, and I am pushed into this body without my knowledge. All this he just started imagining. This all imagination is called projection. There is no end to this imagination. There is no end to this projection. Unless you start look with your intellectual eye. So one side majority are vimudhatma, nanupashyanti, but other side it is the case like that we can't do anything, nothing can be done. No, I am here to help you. As a reality, Ishvara Parabrahma, I have come down and I am also looking like you and I am talking to you. I am telling the reality what it is. You listen and understand and escape from this foolishness. And you become a wise. Recognize it. Pashyanti gnana chakshushaha. Here pashyanti is they know. They know what is real. There is no any need of projection and imagination here at all. Let it be there as it is, whatever is there. And from the small counter as a limited capacity personality, I accept my limitations, but same time I recognize my presence in the totality. So there is no difference between the samashti and veshti, only because of the upadi bheda, some variations. So what? We have to compare, we have to take them as real, we have to become upset and make my life mess. But so this Gnana Chakshushaha, what is the Gnana Chakshu? Bhagavan Shankara told, last class I completed that and told. But on the other side, you see Arjuna, these wise people, Pramana Janita Gnana Chakshushaha. It is not just like that. Pramanam, Shastra Pramanam. My words are the Pramanam. Vedam is the Pramanam. This teaching Bhagavad Gita is the Pramanam. So Pramana Janita, because of this Shabda Pramana, this person, since so many lives, body after body, he gone through like that. Now somehow he started looking on the other side of the truth, other side of the coin. Then for that, he is very sincerely prayed to me. Then I provided him to the teacher Shastra, Shabda Pramana. Because of that listening and understanding the Shastra teaching, then this knowledge has arisen in him. And that discriminative, knowledgeable, the wise person, now he is able to see. This Pashyanti, see word, first let us see like this, in this way. Ready to change and the ability to change. The readiness to change has to come within me, and the ability to change the Shastra and Guru will provide. Unless I give my ear and listen, not bow down at the feet of the teacher and not approach the teacher or Shastra, how you should not approach the Shastra directly, but Pramanam Shastra. Then with that, I now got this vision, the right vision I got. So a readiness to change, that is more. This Vimudaha means who are they? not ready to change. Vimudaha are no, because not ready to change, naturally there is no ability to change. But other side, this amudhaha, non-foolish people, wise people, amudhaha, they were ready to change, they have got the ability to change. Now, this readiness to change and ability to change, I will put in this way: a readiness to know and readiness, ability to know. I want to know the truth. Why I have to suffer in this world, in this body mind complex and the surroundings? Sometimes I will become happy and elated, and sometimes I will become depressed. And whenever I become happy and elated, I will run behind the things and all that. And sometimes I will become so sad. So every time, sometimes I will go to sleep. And these three avasthas are also waking state, dream state, and sleep states are coming and going. Sukha and dukkha are coming and going, and all are coming and going. But what exactly I am? Am I a sleeper? Am I a waker? Am I a dreamer? Or am I a enjoy? Am I a happiest person, or I am a miserable guy? What exactly I am? Can I identify myself with this modification and changes? I know very well I am there in waking state also. I know. I am there in the dream state also. I know. I am there in the deep sleep also. I know. Because I am separate, then only I know all the three, they are coming and going. In the same way, when happiness comes, I know happiness came, I am happy. Then happiness gone, misery has come, and I know also I become miserable. So when happiness and misery comes, both the times, who is commonly staying, standing, the common denominator? I only. What kind of I me? I never inquired before. Therefore, now I started inquiring, thinking. I cannot just leave it like that. As the things and the time and the world and the people thrashes me, I am not a guy to become buffeted by this pairs of opposites or changes of this. Let me discover, in spite of all this happening here, the perceptions are going like this. These perceptions are common to everybody. Another point. Common to everybody. Eye sees the colors and forms. For everybody same. The ears will hear the sounds. It is common to everybody, every person. So perceptions are common. That means it is a universal phenomenon. It is in a samashti level. If that is the case, why you just leave it in the samashti to the Ishvara, whatever is happening? This body is made up of Panchabhutas. We don't know how long they work, how long they will be united, and when they become weak, when they disintegrate. We have no any exact information about it. Then which you don't know, and not having the proper correct information, you leave to the God, Ishvara. Because in Samashti somebody is governing, no? Then your projections will stop. So this non-projecting person who is having only perceptions, now he is having the ability to readiness to see and ability to see is called Gnana Chakshushaha. Therefore, there is nothing to worry because I am explaining this. My amsha is only in the expressing in the body, and you are the jiva. You have to suffer. There is no way. Not to say, or these five sense organs are so great. They all will travel again because in adhisthana manas vishayanupasevate Vayurgandhani vashayat grihitva etani. Once if this body is not useful, but this ahankari jiva who has gathered his karma phala, started claiming, then he has to exhaust those karmas, so he needs another body. So all these five sense organs, mind, all they will sukshma shariram travel. When I am saying all this, my dear Arjuna student, don't think that these are all real. They were not real. Not to prove and say that these Panchabhutas are real, the senses are real, the traveling of the jiva is real. No. If you give reality, they become real. If you just discard, you just strike off, they were not real. That's it. What is that? You project, giving reality means projecting. Not giving reality means only perceiving. Therefore, after that, so Bhagavan has to now say and praise the importance of this Gnana Chakshushaha. Who are they? How they are able to do that? Let me tell little more details about that Gnana Chakshushaha, the Amudha person. Because ultimately, you want to be wise only, no? Nobody generally doesn't want to be otherwise. If anybody calls as a fool, you are a fool, and nobody likes. Even though we are fools, but nobody likes it. We get immediately angry. But if somebody says, really, I must think that, oh, yes, in what way I am fool? A really discriminative person, little intelligent, who exposed to the Shastra, Guru's Upadesha, he thinks that, yes, I am thinking these bodies I am a fool. I am thinking all these things are real. I am a fool. Now, whether they call it or not, let me know for certain that I am not a fool. In world, many people may call in for many reasons. It doesn't matter. If you don't know what you are really, and you are just continuing your life in the projections, then you are a fool. Let me sort out this problem. Therefore, who decided? I told no, readiness to change and ability to change. So, who decided and now working for it? Let us read 11th shloka. These extraordinary wise people. Yatam to yoginaschainam pasyantyatmanyavasthitam yatantopyakrutatmanah nainam pashyantya chetasaha. These people are yatantaha, yatnam, who puts the effort forward. That's why I used these words, readiness to change, ability to change. Prayatnam, whoever work for it. Let me sort out this problem once for all. Yatnam Therefore, they do, and with that effort, they are able to get rid of from this riddle of samsara. Therefore, they are yatayaha, plural. Yetihi. So, without studying the Shastra, okay, so Shastram Pramanam for us. Please remember this. Many Mahatmas are there, some are may not giving importance to the Shastra, some are only living just like that and blessing. Okay, they are all Mahatmas only. Avadhutas, the mystic people, all that things. You get inspiration that how they all led the spiritual life, why they kept the spirituality as the goal of their life. Get that inspiration, that's it. Okay, but you have to go along with the take up the pramana of the Shastram Pramanam. If you are not holding on to that, Bhagavan is going to tell later, if you are not going to hold it, you will miss the track. And you imagine, think that you are walking in the spiritual path. No. Let us go along with the commandment of the Shastra, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads. Therefore, yatantaha. And another title I will give to them, Yoginaha. Here also again, don't misunderstand the Yoginaha word. I told many times in the previous discussions. Yoginaha, there is nothing to do with the yogasanas. It is nothing to do with the long beard and the long hair. It is nothing to do with the any kind of torturing tapas or doing the miracles and showing the ashtasiddhis. Nothing. Yoga, the word is who discovers within himself the oneness of himself and as the Ishvara. Jiva Ishvara Aikya Bhavana itself is a yoga, yuj, union. Then where is the place here for the Ashtasiddhis or the gimmicks and the gymnastics and only body oriented or breathing oriented? They are little bit helpful for some extent for in the beginning stage too, but it is not all. Therefore, yoginaha means well trained, well cultivated their mind through Shastra Pramana and with the effort. Okay? Therefore, this is not a yoga being very popular and common throughout the world. There is a still lot of chance to misunderstand this yogi word. Yogi means something he has to do extraordinary. He should sit for 3 hours without changing his legs, or he should be in samadhi for this many days. He has to sit in the underground. Those things are there. There are some people who do also. But they are nothing to do with this reality of your Brahmaswarupa. Rather than they becomes the obstacles. This is told by the same Lord Krishna in Uddhava Gita. But if you are not caring and understanding, you will be in trouble. So yoginaha, and to say this yatayaha, yoginaha, they were all samahita chittaha. Shankara writes, yogi, whose mind is cultivated Vyavasayatmika buddhihi ekeha kuru nandana baushaka. We saw in the Gita itself before. Therefore, samahita chittaha, whose mind is well trained, well under control, and it just having the only perceptions, not crossing the limit and creating the projections. Whose mind is stopped projecting, and that mind is called samahita chittaha. They were called yogis. Understand? Then what they do? Enam prakrutam atmanam. That means what we are discussing about this parampadam and dhamam, two words came now, and they see that pashyanti. So yoginaha yatayaha yoginaha only pashyanti enam atmanam, which is their real essential nature. Avasthitam means it is not somewhere sitting in the some place in some time. In their own intellect, swasyam buddhau, which is their essential nature. This is my essential nature. I need not to go and search anywhere. I need not to wait for some muhurtam or the time. So, pashyanti enam atmanam avasthitam. Atmani avasthitam. Akrutatman atmani avasthitam. This, see, shastradi pramanahi. Now, this is one side. Because I talked about both of them, the foolish person and the non-foolish person. The wise person is he. Now, other side, I have to tell once again to you, there are some people, not very bad guys, not non-believers are like that, but they are very good, religious people. Yatantaha api. They were also putting the efforts forward and follow the shastras, follow the karma kandas, rituals, and they study some extent, or they attend some of the satsangs and classes also. But even though they are doing that, akrutatmana, they were not cultivated their mind, but they are doing. Because of sometimes name, fame, and for the sake of the academic qualification, for the sake of self prestige like that, and for the sake of boasting, they may study good things, but all of them ultimately, some are told in the Shastras, they do that. But akrutatmanaha, asamskrutatmana, that means uncultured, they were looking for outside cultured people only. That's why I told religious people. Their dress, their actions, they go to temple, they do this, they do charity and all that things they will do. They are generally in the society, if you see, they are very good people. Good people, very easily we can recognize them. But being just as a good person by doing the charity and going to the temple and studying, doing some parayana or like that, that is not enough to recognize and realize this truth. You need to come out of all of them and cross and grow much more. So don't be as a akrutatmanaha, asamskrutatmanaha. That means what? Untrained. Let me tell you in a simple way, whose minds are not freed from the raga dvesha, or we can say that 5 points which Bhagavan told in the fifth shloka, they were having still lot of mana, abhimana, and this wrong kind of projections, individuality, strong individuality. They were, then naturally lot of desires are there and lot of attachment, contacts, transactions. Transactions, possessions and relations are more and more for them. Gradually they strengthen them rather than reducing. You remember that sometime back in some other occasion we started reduction of the FIR, reduction of the frequency, intensity and reaction, FIR reduction. Therefore, what has to reduction has to come? Okay. Possessions, relations, and all these things, the attachment to them should come down. Therefore, port reduction, not FIR. FIR in some other example person, port reduction. Possessions, obligations, relations, and T is transactions. More and more these things are there. Where is the opportunity, chance for you to look deep and contemplate and understand, study the scriptures? So, who are not having those things which Bhagavan told in the fifth shloka, they were asamskrutatmanaha. Generally, Samskrita means cultured. But as I told you, outside they looks like a very cultured people. Therefore, we have to think in a little more deeper way. They were cultured people only in some extents, in some aspects, but they were not really well trained their mind. Because of that, that means what Shankara says for this, they have not done any kind of tapas. If at all they have done some tapas and some kind of vratams and austerities, all that, they all strengthened and make more stronger their ego. If you see in the Puranas, many tapasvis are all very arrogant and angry people. They got some powers to curse somebody. But Gnani never do that such kind of cursing and all that. Why? Because of their tapas, they are become so arrogant. And it should not be like that. But real tapas is a self denial. Self-imposed discipline is called tapas. For what? To get rid of from this body-mind identification. To build up the inner strength to withstand to the onslaughts of this world. So tapas is not meant for punya, papa, all those things. But many people will do, okay, let them do. Slowly that will help through them, but it takes long time unless if they change and the direction and come. So if tapas is there, that tapas should give the indriya jayam, they should have the control on the senses. But here Shankara says, they have not done that. Tapasa indriya jayena cha. Na. And dushcharitad. And their Old habits and old projections were not changed. They were same as they were before. And because of that wrong way of thinking projections, anuparataha, they were more indulging nature, not tamasic nature, but rajasic nature, and some extent sattvika nature also, because they are religious people. That's why yatantaha api, even though they are putting some efforts and trying to seek something through the religion, through the god, and through their austerities and vratams and all that, but because of this, finally, ashanta darpatmanaha, they were restless, and they have got lot of darpam. Darpa means ahankara, expressing different forms. They were called dambham, darpam, boasting, proudness, and show off. All this kind of intolerance, comparison, promising, taking the attitude of taking revenge, all this comes under this. So ashantaha, first of all, they were not peaceful in their heart, and they are filled with this darpam. This words reminds that Kathopanishad, Bhagavan Sri Krishna seems to be adopting the more and more statements and points from the Kathopanishad exactly to say this yatantaha, but one side yatantaha api aprakrutatmanaha, akrutatmanaha. Who are they? What Kathopanishad says? Navirato duscheritat. The people who are not free from the wrong way of living, the people who are not freed from the projections, na shantaha, they were not they were not at peace in their heart. Na asamahitah, na samahitah, because here samahitatma, Shankara wrote that samahita word is there. They were not well trained and having control on their mind. Therefore, ashanta manasaha. The mantra actually tells in a negative way, na virato duscharitat, na shanto, na samahitaha, na shanta manaso vapi. For this kind of people, ashanta manasa and asamahita manas and bad way of thinking, no, they were not able to stop their projections. For all of them, it is not, the truth is not available. They cannot grasp the truth. They were not fit for this knowledge. Even they heard, but they won't get the essence of it. This is not their cup of tea. Then who will get? Pragnanena ena enam apnuyat. Only by pragnanena, prakarshanena, gnanena, that reality, his essential nature, should be accomplished, should be recognized, should be known. Kathopanishad. Now let us go to the 12th shloka. Yadadityagatam tejaha jagadbhasayatekhilam yaschandramasi yaschagno tattejo viddhi mamakam. Actually, 13th shloka kuda I can read because this thoughts flow is a continuation. Gama vishya cha bhutani dharayamyaham pushnyami chaushadhis sarvaha somo bhutva rasatmakah. Now, so far whatever Bhagavan told from the Mamaivamsho Jivaloke and all that, and Tat Padam Parimargitavyam, then Yadgatva Nanivartante, the essence of all that is here. I would like to go along with the Shankara's Bhashya, just for getting us some grip to the next shlokas. Yat padam sarvasya avabhasakam api, whichever that padam is, I told already, introduction, just I go through fast. So it is make everything to shine, okay, but Agni, Adi, Adikam, Jyoti, Bhagavan said no, natad vasayate surya, nashashanko napavaka, Jyoti. But that is not easily made to shine by this sun or the moon or the fire or anything. Then yat praptaha cha mumukshavaha punaha samsarabhimukaha na nivartante. But once who able to recognize that, who reaches that, who attains that, then this mumukshavaha, this sadhaka, they never turn back again to the world. This is all what Krishna said in the last few shlokas in the Shankara's words. Punaha na samsarabhimukaha navartan. They never come back again into the samsara and to the world of the transmigration. Yasya cha padasya upadibhedam anuvidhiyamanaha jivaha ghatakashadayah iva akashasya amshaha. And here we see a lot of differences in this world, in this projection, in this perception of the world, small jiva, small bodies, big bodies and all that, upadibhedam, we can see that we are experiencing that. As like how the space in the ghata pot is a small space. The space in the bedroom is small and space is more is big in the hall. Like that, the differences are there. Differences are there only in the upadi. Because of that, as though space is also become limited. Iva, as though, iva. Akashasya amshaha, as, but all are akasha only. Akasha in your house also, in my house also, in your country also, in my country also. But in your country, the earth and the products and the ocean size, this, that, temperatures may be different, but akasha is same or not? So here also same. One Paramatma, Mamaivamsho Jiva, that's why Akasha Amshaha iva, Paramatma Amshaha, expressing through all of them. Then Tasya Padasya Sarvatmatvam. Now, what Bhagavan further has to explain? That one reality, that Paramatma, Paramapadam, that Padam, Sarvatmatvam, that one reality only, my dear, expressing through everything without any exception. This you have to accept and realize this. This is what all the efforts of the Upanishads to say this. Sarvatmya bhavam, sarvatra sarvadarshanam. One reality only. Absolutely The reality which is expressing, there is no difference at all. But our life, our thoughts and thinking process, everything is based on, we are moving about calculating only the differences on account of so many things. Then naturally you will be always in trouble only. Stop seeing the differences in your intellectual level. Outside you cannot remove. Outside you cannot remove the differences at all, at any cost. Therefore, now sarvatmatvam sarva vyavaharaspadatvam, and in whatever transactions and whatever is happening. But that one padam, that one reality, consciousness, Brahman, Satchit, it is not doing any vyavahara. Now, one reality become expressing as the Ishvara. What happened to reality? No. And same reality expressing as the Veshti Jiva. And then what happened to reality? Nothing happened. Space expressed in so many ways, in so many times, in so many places. But same, what happened to the space? Nothing. Sarva vyavaharaspadatvam cha. Therefore, to make us to understand now, Krishna Bhagavan has to say that how this sarvatmatvam, one without second, expressing through. Let me give you some examples. Maybe through that you can grasp and understand, which I have already told in the Vibhuti Yoga. Arjuna asked, so he told, given many lists, and now and then here and there he talks. And Vishwarupa Sandarshana Yoga, of course, it is a different dimension of expression. But here Bhagavan again to say in coming four shlokas, he is going to say the Vibhuti of Bhagavan. When I say Bhagavan, it is not the Krishna. Bhagavan means Brahma. Brahma means Atma. Atma means you. You means, when I say you, what you feel? Now, I? Yes, I. My Vibhuti. So, in four shlokas, Vibhuti, samkshepam, only not in a brief manner, is going to tell very important and beautiful shlokas, how we can see them from the Adi Daivika standpoint, then Adi Bhautika standpoint, then Adhyatmika standpoint. So it gives a complete picture to get this Sarvatmya Bhavam. And then once if this is clearly understood, all the projections will end. Then if further you never do the projections, all projections, you stop projecting, then you will be happy. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.